The truth about becoming greater in life is that it's a journey that requires dedication, self-awareness, and continuous improvement. It's about capitalizing on your strengths and consistently striving to be the best version of yourself. With that being said, there are some things that you must learn to do to expedite your beautiful journey and not see as many barriers to your end goal. Alright, first up, be humble and lose that ego. This one's crucial because a lot of people have the fear of feeling humiliated in front of people just because they don't know something. So they just stay quiet and have unanswered questions. Who gives a shit? Nobody. So what if you don't know something? Just ask and someone will be willing to help you. That's another problem if nobody around you is willing to help. Pro tip, find new people. When you approach your situations with modesty, you are more likely to seek out and acknowledge your mistakes, allowing for faster growth and improvement, something I like to call constant course correction. Modesty helps build stronger relationships and collaborations, as people appreciate and respect those who are modest and willing to learn from others, thus creating a supportive network that can propel you forward. Next, invest in yourself. The biggest asset to your arsenal are the skills that you have. Let's visualize this. Let's say you have $100 to spare. You can do anything with the $100. And what most people do is what other people are doing, which is either crypto or stocks. Not saying that's bad, but there should be diversification in your investments. And your investment should have a guaranteed return, whether it's skills or capital. We're focusing on the skills aspect of this. I'll touch up on the capital aspect in a different video. You're still young right now, and honestly, you should be investing in things that help you become a better person, which right now is acquiring the highest level of skills that you can acquire and have a great financial plan. Again, I'll touch on that in a different video. Let's say out of the $100, you put $50 to invest in yourself, whether it's a course, books, etc. You keep doing that for 6 months, and at the end, you will have more to invest in different ways because you're learning and you're exponentially increasing your paycheck day by day. Because unlike corporate, where your pay is determined on your rank, your pay in business is determined by the amount of skills that you present and how effectively you can put them to use. Another crucial aspect of achieving success is having attainable and reachable goals in place. I can't begin to tell you the amount of times people have come up to me and said the most outlandish goals. And it's completely ridiculous because at that point in their life, they don't have the capabilities of achieving those goals. Don't get me wrong, what I'm trying to say is that every big goal has little goals attached to them. A basic analogy is trying to get to the top floor of your house. You can't just magically teleport up there. You have to go through the stairs, and before that, you have to go up each step. The same applies for your aspirations. Have attainable goals and a general staircase to reach the top. All you have to do is just look down and take each step and trust that you will get up in no time. When goals are realistic, they keep you motivated and focused, reducing the risk of burnout from overambitious targets. Attainable goals also allow for regular progress checks and practice constant course correction, ultimately leading to a more efficient path to success. Which brings me to my next point, and probably the most important part about reaching the top is reaching rock bottom. And most people are actually terrified of reaching rock bottom for their own reasons. My friend, you will get nowhere in life if you fear failure. Accept it. Accept that you have failed and move on. There's two types of people. People who whine and mope about the situation for days, weeks, even months. And there are people who reflect and analyze why that failure even happened in the first place and what they can do to make sure it never happens again. You decide where you want to be. Live by the philosophy of it is what it is. You can't change it, and there's only one option to move on: accepting it. The fear of failure is the number one reason why people never achieve their goals. They're worried about this, or this even happening, and they live in these hypothetical situations that don't even exist and get brainwashed by the possibilities of these negative outcomes. But nobody ever thinks about the good that can come out of it. I believe in being a realist. I see the good and bad in things. When it turns out good, I've thought about a path I can take and progress in it. If it turns out bad, I accept it and course correct so it doesn't happen again. I know this is way easier said than done, but if you have no expectations for anything, then they won't affect your emotions, thus letting you analyze the scenario without having any emotional bias. Which brings me to my next point. Reflecting on where you are now to where you should be now reflects your productivity in the past few months. It could be that you are where you plan to be, and you should applaud yourself for that. However, sometimes we aren't where we hope to be, and we let our emotions get to us, and that's totally fine. It's okay to feel that way, but if we let those emotions when we face adversity get to us, then the chance of getting to that end goal slims down. What I recommend doing, and side note, this has helped me personally, is that when I'm feeling down, write it down. This will not only release your emotions, but it will also keep them there for you to look back on and reflect on. You can process what you felt and why you felt that way and create a game plan. An added bonus is that later on in life, when you're 40, 50 years old, sitting in a beautiful home with you and your family, you can take that journal and read page by page what you felt along your beautiful journey and what roadblocks you faced or any failures you've experienced. Anything, it can be anything. And you can share these details with the next generation and be an example for them to relentlessly work on your craft and reflect on all your emotions. Now that we have set goals, processed our failures, and written them down, the next step is to create a solution and course correct yourself. All of the steps that I mentioned before are good and all, but they ultimately lead up to one thing: correction. Your journey is like a train on a set of tracks. You keep going down the track you find, and eventually, to reach that destination, you cannot stay on the same track because that will lead you to a different destination. So, what do? You constantly change tracks until you reach that end station where you originally wanted to go. You start off by unknowingly going down a path, and it goes well until it doesn't. And that's where you need to change tracks and keep changing tracks until you inevitably reach that ultimate destination. Like I said before, this is easier said than done. In concept, all these are guaranteed to work. But if you just like to listen to me talk, then hey, fair play. But if you actually understand and process what I'm saying and follow along what I personally am doing in my life, then I am confident that success is right around the corner for us. Because I have mimicked what hundreds of millionaires and successful entrepreneurs are doing and crafting my own version of those. So far, I can see these working for myself. And I'm confident that once you start, you will start seeing success. Until next time, I'll see you soon.